Daniel Ricciardo has officially left Formula One, and it feels like the end of an era. This is big news, and today we're going to talk about everything surrounding his sudden exit. Why did this happen? What did his former team and teammates have to say? And most importantly, where does Ricciardo go from here? Stick around, because this story is packed with emotion, insight, and some surprising twists. Let's take a quick trip down memory lane. Ricciardo's journey in Formula One has been nothing short of iconic. Starting out at HRT, then moving to Toro Rosso, and eventually finding success at Red Bull Racing, Daniel Ricciardo quickly became known for his daring overtakes and that ever-present smile. His aggressive yet calculated driving style made him a fan favorite from the get-go. Remember the 2014 season? He was up against none other than Sebastian Vettel, a four-time world champion at the time, and Ricciardo managed to outshine him. That was the moment we all knew this guy was special. Then there were his race wins. Ricciardo wasn't just good, he was incredible when it came to timing his overtakes and capitalizing on others' mistakes. Who can forget his win at the 2018 Monaco Grand Prix? He led from start to finish, even though his car had severe engine issues. That race alone solidified his place in F1 history, showing the grit and determination he was known for. But as we know, Formula One is a sport where things can change fast, and Ricciardo's story took a few unexpected turns. Now, let's jump to what's been happening lately. Christian Horner, Red Bull's team principal, shared a heartfelt tribute to Ricciardo after news of his departure. Horner didn't just talk about Ricciardo as a driver, he spoke about him as a person. He called him a true racer and said Ricciardo brought a unique energy to the team, one that everyone admired. Horner has been part of Ricciardo's journey since the early Red Bull days, and it's clear from his words that the respect is mutual. He mentioned specific moments like that unforgettable win in Monaco, saying it was one of the best drives he'd ever seen. That's high praise coming from a team boss who's worked with the likes of Sebastian Vettel and Max Verstappen. Horner's words remind us that even though Ricciardo's last stint with Red Bull didn't go as planned, his impact on the team and the sport will be remembered for years to come. But it's not just Horner who's been vocal about Ricciardo's exit. Max Verstappen, his former Red Bull teammate, also had something to say. Verstappen has been dominating the sport in recent years, but even he couldn't hide his disappointment at seeing Ricciardo leave. Max spoke about their time as teammates, saying he always enjoyed working with Ricciardo and had a lot of respect for him, both on and off the track. He admitted he was surprised by how quickly things fell apart for Ricciardo after rejoining Red Bull in 2023. Verstappen acknowledged that F1 can be brutally tough, even for someone as talented as Ricciardo, and mentioned how much he admired Ricciardo's resilience, even when things weren't going his way. Let's not forget how crucial this bond between teammates can be in a sport like Formula One. The camaraderie Ricciardo and Verstappen shared went beyond just being colleagues, they pushed each other to be better. Their rivalry on track was intense, but off the track, they shared a mutual respect. And that's not something you see every day in this sport. Verstappen's comments show just how much Ricciardo meant to the team, even during his tough times. Despite all the competition and fierce racing, the two drivers maintained a sense of respect that clearly still resonates with Max. But then there was Helmut Marko, Red Bull's senior advisor, who had a different take on why Ricciardo had to go. In a candid interview, Marko didn't sugarcoat anything. According to him, Ricciardo had lost his killer instinct now. That's a pretty bold statement, especially considering the heights Ricciardo reached earlier in his career. Marko explained that while Ricciardo still had the passion and love for racing, he was missing that edge, that fierce determination that made him a race winner in the past. Marko pointed out that Ricciardo's form had been inconsistent ever since he left Red Bull in 2018. Even after coming back to Red Bull, Ricciardo struggled to find his rhythm. Marko's comments make it clear that in F1, talent alone isn't enough, you need that extra something to keep pushing, especially at the highest level. Marko's honesty, though harsh, sheds light on what many in the F1 paddock have been thinking but might not have said out loud. F1 is a sport that moves at breakneck speed, both literally and figuratively. If a driver doesn't perform, even one as talented and experienced as Ricciardo, teams don't hesitate to make changes. It's a reminder of just how cutthroat this sport can be. Marko emphasized that Red Bull couldn't afford to wait for Ricciardo to find his form. Every race counts, especially when you're competing at the level Red Bull is. It's tough to hear, but it helps us understand the pressure Ricciardo has been under. F1 is a results-driven sport, and as much as fans love Ricciardo, the sport doesn't wait for anyone to rediscover their form. Red Bull gave him a chance, but in the end, the results just weren't there. And in a team as competitive as Red Bull, Every race counts. The decision to part ways wasn't just tough on a personal level, it was sudden. Reports suggest that Ricciardo was informed of the decision right before the race weekend. Can you imagine the shock? To be told just days before a race that your seat is gone, that your time is up, it's brutal. But that's the reality of Formula One. The timing of Ricciardo's exit couldn't be more critical either. Red Bull is focused on securing another Constructors' Championship, and they need every point they can get. Unfortunately for Ricciardo, his recent performances weren't enough to justify keeping him in the car. This exit, effective immediately, left no room for speculation or a potential comeback. So, what happens next for Daniel Ricciardo? It's the question on everyone's mind. Will he try to stay involved in F1 in some capacity? Maybe as an ambassador, a mentor, or even a media personality? Ricciardo has a natural charisma that makes him perfect for a role in the spotlight, even if it's not behind the wheel. He's hinted in the past that he's open to new opportunities outside of racing, so perhaps we'll see him exploring new paths. Or could he surprise everyone and make a return to motorsport in another series? Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, no matter what Ricciardo does next, his legacy in Formula One is secure. He's given us unforgettable moments, whether it was his daring overtakes, his contagious positivity, or that signature shoey celebration on the podium. Even though the last few seasons have been tough, and his recent stint at Red Bull didn't go as planned, Ricciardo will always be remembered as one of the most exciting drivers to watch. His story also serves as a reminder of the unpredictability of Formula One. No matter how talented or well-loved a driver is, the sport is relentlessly competitive, and even the smallest dip in performance can have huge consequences. Daniel Ricciardo's journey is one filled with highs and lows, and while his departure is sad, it's also a part of the ever-changing landscape of F1. Max spoke about their time as teammates, saying he always enjoyed working with Ricciardo and had a lot of respect for him, both on and off the track. He admitted he was surprised by how quickly things fell apart for Ricciardo after rejoining Red Bull in 2023. Verstappen acknowledged that F1 can be brutally tough, even for someone as talented as Ricciardo, and mentioned how much he admired Ricciardo's resilience, even when things weren't going his way. Let's not forget how crucial this bond between teammates can be in a sport like Formula One. In the end, Ricciardo's departure marks the close of one chapter, but it's the beginning of something new for him. While it's sad to see him leave F1, we can't help but feel excited for what's next in his journey. So, what do you think? Will Daniel Ricciardo stay involved in motorsport, or could he go in a completely different direction? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on all things Formula One, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and share it with your friends. There's a lot more to come, and I'll be here to bring you the latest news, insights, and reactions. Thanks for watching, and until next time.